Three, two, one. Welcome to Jim's Take, yet another episode. This one's going to be a quick one, but it's an important one. We're going to talk about the benefits of struggle. Very quickly, the thesis of this podcast, as I was sitting and writing notes for it, is struggle is good. And with technology and AI and everything that's being done, it does everything for us and is going to do more for us. And that's great. It's a very, the dream is very good. It's very nice. But I would argue that we have to actively seek out some kind of struggle so that we can remember our purpose, we can remember our value, and one of the things we're going to have to do is actively create some kind of purpose, acknowledgement, success with doing something so that we can continue to feel our value. I spoke at a conference this week. It was an amazing conference, technology conference in Manhattan. All kinds of big people. It was all on tech and AI and all the really cool stuff coming around and what should we be afraid of and what should we be thinking of. And we had Department of Homeland Security talking about it from a really big, foreign actor kind of component. We had Google talking about how to use AI for social good, which was fascinating. Like there's so many really exciting, really fantastic ways that we can use this type of technology. But one of the things that wasn't spoken about, and I brought this up in my talk, is, how do we get people to prepare for this? And when we talk about what makes us uniquely human, a lot of people talk about, philosophy and our ability to think and think outside the box and question things and all of that type of stuff. But one thing we don't really talk about is this idea of struggle. And struggle is good. And I should qualify this. When I say struggle, I'm not talking about like major trauma. I'm not talking about major societal injustices. I'm not talking about this pick yourself up by the bootstraps type of stuff. Those major kind of life events that just knock you on your ass and you have to, you lose a leg and now you have to be resilient like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how do we find and embrace a struggle to get us through some kind of sense of purpose. And let me give you an example. Months ago, it may even have been a year ago at this point, I went up to Walden Pond and I was sitting and I was thinking and doing my kind of philosophy stuff. And one of the questions I kept asking myself is, what do I care about? And obviously the first thing that comes to my mind is I care about my kids. And say, why? Well, I want them to be resilient. I want them to be self-reliant. I want them to be intelligent. And then I said, well, why? Like how? How am I going to do that? And it changed my way of thinking about how I interact with my kids. And it's, I'm not going to do everything for them. And, they want help crossing the monkey bars. Say, nope, I want to see you at the other end of the monkey bars so I could see your face when you accomplished it, right? You have to work through it. You got to challenge yourself. And that's part of our role as parents. And my wife and I are seeing it now. Our son's going through potty training. He just doesn't want to do it. And, talking to my wife, it's because we do everything for him. Right? He just looked at me and said, just put on a diaper and wipe my ass. He's looking at me like, why would I even, you do it. Like, why would I? And so we're changing our kind of way that we interact with our kids, but it's not just about kids. We actually have to actively do it for ourselves. How do we find a struggle that we could be proud of? And the benefits of struggle are myriad, right? We've got, we build self-reliance, mental resilience. How do I get past this? Do I have the appetite, the fortitude to drive through whatever this is, because this is something I really want. Emotional regulation. How do you respond to the rejection and how do you bounce around it? How do you evaluate your perseverance in terms of what are you really looking to do and what do you create and what are you ultimately proud of? And there are consequences and challenges to really getting what you want. And much of my work in corporate talks a lot about how do we get our people to be more engaged, right? Leaders always ask that. I want my people to go above and beyond, and how do we get them engaged? And the first question I always ask is, well, what are they doing that they're proud of? I mean, pull out a project manager who's being dictated all these things that they're supposed to be doing. They're taking it from one side and they're putting it on the other, but they have no influence. They have no they're not excited about projects necessarily. Some people are. Some people really like the puzzle and they say, oh, how do I kind of navigate that and all that? But someone in marketing who's just kind of doing whatever, someone in finance who's looking through spreadsheets, we talk about this loss of purpose most people in their 30s to 40s to 50s, they're like, you know what, I've been doing this for years and it's not jazzing me in any kind of way. And the question is, well, what are you proud of? What are you doing at work that you could say, I did this? And I think now with technology and AI, and we're seeing all of there's a Google AI commercial that got some blowback about how this little girl was seeing an Olympian on TV, and I want to learn from this Olympian. She was talking to her dad, and he said, all right, hey, Google, write me a letter to the Olympian. And did nothing with the kid. The kid didn't have to do anything. It was basically written up, and they sent it off, and oh my goodness, look, they met the Olympian. And that takes away so much of the human experience, of the struggle, of the creativity, of the anxiety of asking for help or asking, will this person respond, and how do we do this? There is this really good benefit to saying, I did this, and the computer didn't do it, I did it. And there's plenty of research out there. There's plenty of real research on, how the benefits of struggle will impact your ability as a human being. And there was someone was telling me about, how people who go through hazing in a fraternity appreciate the fraternity more. I'm not saying put people through hazing, but that's a struggle. I think about the ayahuasca trip. You're not getting through ayahuasca without a struggle, right? From a physical and a mental and an emotional standpoint, the people who do ayahuasca need to get through ayahuasca, and there's a struggle. And that's not just what you realize from your ayahuasca. It's the fact that you went through some kind of battle and you came out at the other side and you say, you know what, I'm in a different place right now. And we feel like we're struggling. We feel like we're struggling because everything is chaos. But it's stupid shit. There's nothing impactful that we're worried about what's coming around the bend. We're worried about a fear and we're struggling with anxiety and this fear of the unknown. And if we're struggling with change, that's not something you're going to conquer. It's the wrong focus, because the change, the end line, the goal line is constantly moving. And so you're not going to get that finish feeling. You're not going to say, you know what, I did it and I got over it. And so we aren't struggling in the right kind of way. And when everything is done for us, I would argue we actively have to pick something that we can set out, set a plan, accomplish, and say, I'm proud of that. It could be anything. It could be a 5,000 piece puzzle. It could be signing up for an Ironman. I think that's why I did an Ironman. I think that's why I run marathons. It's why I do these types of things is, can I do this? And do I have the discipline, the fortitude, the self-efficacy to get to this particular end goal and say, you know what, I did. Nobody else did this for me. I did it. And that's what's great about those types of activities. And so an Ironman's not for everybody. Running's not for everybody. Puzzles are not for everybody. But you have to, this is where you have to fill in your gap on what kind of struggle are you going to sign up to do. And it doesn't have to be a work. It can be a work. That's why a lot of entrepreneurs get into entrepreneurship is, can I build this and can I do it? And how many hits do I take? That's why entrepreneurs love their work, is because they get hit 50 million times. They question their value. They say, can I do this? Is this the right thing? And then they realize that they have a responsibility to say, you know what? It's up to me. I have to get past it and I'm going to do it. That's the reward. It's not money. It's not all this other type of stuff that people think they're going to get into launching their own business for. It's why we do the things that we do. And so what I would challenge everyone with is 2025, you're going into it, is pick a struggle and pick a challenge. And it could be physical, it could be mental, it could be social, it could be a social challenge. How do I interact with new types of people? How do I get myself in this uncomfortable position and get past that? What are these fears and anxieties I have, and how do I actually find the thing that's going to get me past that so that I can accomplish it? We work from home a lot. We spend a lot of time at home. Home is a place for comfort. And if we live in a place of comfort, we're missing so many of the experiences that help us remember who we are. So we should go home when we need a break. But we have to actively put ourselves out there to find this discomfort, to discover who we are as an individual, to discover what we're capable of, to dream big, to aim high. We have to find these different levels of discomfort and get past it. And you're going to pick a struggle and you're not going to make it. And you're going to get this social feeling, this emotional kind of challenge inside your gut where you say, you know what, this is failure and I don't like it. Is it important enough for me to move around it, or do I go find a different struggle? And that's the type of stuff that we have to do. So 2025, I want you to pick a struggle, pick something difficult, and go actively find that awesome thing that you could be proud of. And that's up to you. It's something you want to do. You're going to pick something you want to do. You're going to figure out how to do it, and then you're going to figure out how to enjoy it. Whether it's running, or whether it's tennis, whether it's whatever the hell, whatever it is. Write a book. Do something. Find new friends. Whatever it is, as an adult. You actively now, this is your task. This is your charter for 2025 to go kind of figure that stuff out. So have a good week. Have a good year. Enjoy yourself. And good luck with the struggle. Thanks.